Hey guys, Fisheries team here signing on. My name's Harrison Gatch, and I am a senior studying fisheries ecology and conservation.
I'm Rachel Bratton. I am a junior studying environmental science.
And I'm Catherine Barba. I'm a junior studying fisheries ecology and conservation.
So we're here to talk to you guys a little bit today about sustainable seafood here at UMass, and hopefully by the end of this presentation we'll have you guys convinced, hook, line, and thinker. When we walk into UMass dining halls for the first time, the feeling is of astonishment, not criticism, of bounty, not limitations. My parents and visiting friends are always flabbergasted at the sheer number of options and the touting title of sustainability cast on almost every plate you can choose. But as we walk in day after day, we start to realize the true scale of options, and upon further inspection, learn that not all that glitters is gold. These days, the word sustainability is tossed all over the place, especially in UMass dining halls. So we decided to take a real look into whether or not those fisheries and the fish that we're getting from those fisheries are actually sustainable. And so we have prepared a presentation today to teach you guys a little bit about what fish are the best to eat and why you should maybe think about maybe not eating as much seafood and switching to other things in your diet.
UMass is recognized internationally for its sustainability initiatives and has already undertaken many projects to improve the sustainability of seafood on campus. In 2015, UMass was named a finalist for the CBUB Seafood Champion Award, an award recognizing institutions for achievements in sustainability. UMass purchases $1 million worth of sustainably sourced seafood each year using sustainability guidelines from the Monterey-based Seafood Watch. UMass Amherst students eat an average of 21 pounds of seafood a year, which is 6 pounds more than the national average of 15. This is partially because UMass tries to serve seafood instead of red meat or other sources of protein like that, just to get students away from those and towards more healthier options, which UMass has named one of its strategies towards improving students' health in the dining halls. And a lot of UMass seafood is sourced from Alaska, which even if it's sustainably certified there are still implications of transporting it all the way from Alaska to UMass in terms of the emissions of transporting it in refrigerated trucks and just the scale of the operation. One of the biggest initiatives UMass has taken to make seafood more sustainable on campus is moving away from whitefish like cod that are overfished in New England and switching to trash fish, which are underutilized fish that are still fine to eat, like dogfish and pollock, which the university sources from fisheries around Boston. And so instead of serving cod on like Fridays when the dining hall does like a big fish fry, they serve dogfish, and they said they serve 400 to 500 pounds of fried dogfish every Friday, so it's great that they're not serving that much cod. Aside from this project, however, UMass Dining's sustainability website is basically devoid of mentions of seafood. So to find out more about the sustainability of seafood served in the dining halls, we tried to email dining hall managers directly with a list of questions about where they're sourcing the biggest sources of seafood that we see in the dining halls and whether they're considering the sustainability of these sources.
As students at UMass, we've all seen the scope of the seafood served in the dining halls, from the daily sushi lines, to the fish fries and clam chowder on Fridays, to the salmon burgers that are served almost every day. We think it is important as students to know exactly what we're eating and where it's coming from. As a student at UMass, if you're eating whitefish, you are most likely eating shark, more specifically the spiny dogfish or Squalus acanthius. It's a coastal predator that has been fished nearly to extirpation in the past in New England waters. This is mostly because of its life history, including its low fecundity, and what this means is that it reproduces very slowly compared to many other fish. It only produces 2 to 13 pups in any mating session, and it takes 22 months for the pup to be born. This is a problem because there are no restrictions on fishing these animals, and so they can be caught at any point during their gestation period, at any age. In Massachusetts fisheries, over 6 million pounds of dogfish are caught every year, and the fish are stripped of their fins and they're sent to Asia for the shark fin soup industry.
Boo!
UMass is essentially supporting this industry by buying dogfish and serving it on campus. Shrimp is another commonly served species at UMass. According to Christopher Young, purchasing coordinator of sustainability, most of the shrimp is sourced from overseas farms. These farms damage the environment by destroying mangrove forests and leaching excessive nutrients into the bay areas where they're found. In Thailand, they take up a lot of the coastline. Some shrimp is also sourced from the Florida coast, where they are collected with trawling nets. This is an incredibly damaging way of fishing because it can catch up to 4 to 5 pounds of bycatch per 1 pound of shrimp caught. This affects lots of ocean life, including large sea mammals. One of UMass's favorite species to serve are wild-caught Alaskan salmon. While this is an okay source, it's not the best one that's recommended by Seafood Watch. Every year in Alaska alone, more than 1 billion pounds of salmon are caught commercially. UMass is demanding a lot of salmon and putting a lot of pressures on this fisheries that is known to be very fragile. We've already seen the collapse of the Atlantic salmon on the East Coast, and West Coast species are just as fragile.
So as we've previously mentioned, UMass is already doing a lot of great things to strive to sustainability in their seafood. However, we think that they can do a lot better job, and as such, we're going to make a couple of recommendations. The first of which being to move away from their current sources of shrimp. Getting them from Thailand not only causes fossil fuel emissions on the way over from shipping, but also destroys the local ecology from farming, as well as pushing underprivileged families out of their homes by producing these farms. And then as far as trawling for shrimp in Florida, I mean, it's like terrible. They catch dolphins, they catch everything. It's really not a great thing. We also believe that UMass should be serving less seafood in general. And the only way that they are going to do that is through input through their students. And that's where you guys come in. A lot of us probably think that there's not a bunch of ways that an individual can make a difference, but that's just simply not true. And especially when it comes to seafood at UMass, one person can make a difference. If you write a letter and say that you want to see less seafood or you want to see it more sustainably served at UMass, then you're going to make a difference all on your own. Currently, UMass serves 441,000 pounds of seafood every year. And that's just an outrageous number. I mean, we consume, on average at UMass, 1.5 times the national average of seafood consumed. And we think that we can change that. And we'd like your guys' help to do it. So thank you very much for listening, and hopefully we've caught you hook, line, and sinker. Hey, did Rachel leave?